Welcome to my presentation. My name is Tavish. The title of my project is QSMON, a quality of service monitoring system for low resource networks. I'm being supervised by Dr. Josiah Chabola. Just some numbers to start with. As of 2019, according to the ITU, about 165.6 mobile cellular subscriptions were there per 100 inhabitants in South Africa. And out of these, 102.2 were mobile broadband subscriptions. These numbers did not change much after the COVID 19 pandemic, and we found in 2021 that 94.7% of internet users access the internet through smartphones worldwide. So, this was the story for the highly resourced networks, which are mobile broadband networks. But when it comes to low resource networks, we find a high proportion of unstable connectivity links as compared to stable connectivity links like fiber or Ethernet. So this is the reason that there's a high usage of smartphones in low resource networks as well. So we think that this high usage of smartphones in low resource networks can be leveraged to build mobile crowdsourcing applications for network monitoring. Mobile crowdsourcing applications generally have two types of designs: centralized and decentralized. Centralized designs are those in which there's a central server, and the server allocates measurements to nodes connected throughout the network. In decentralized designs, local proxies have to be set up, which which collect the results from the connected nodes and send them to a main server for aggregation. Centralized designs are much more cost effective as compared to decentralized designs, as they do not involve setting up of multiple proxies. And in terms of accessibility of measurement results, they are also superior. We would want our centralized designs to support both active and passive monitoring. Passive monitoring involves the observation of network parameters and device characteristics within the mobile phones itself, so they not pose much of a challenge in terms of computation. But when it comes to active network measurements, there are certain challenges associated. Smartphones have limited CPU, battery, and bandwidth resources, so running active measurements is a bit of a difficult process. Uh, there's also something known as the observer effect, which is defined as the error in active measurements due to the infrastructure itself. When a large number of packets are injected across the network in active measurements, there tends to be a bias in the measurement results. This can be seen by running multiple iperf measurements throughout the network to measure the throughput. If we run back-to-back iperf measurements, we will be observing a horizontal straight line at the throughput of the network. And if we run them concurrently, we will be experiencing skewed plots. So this shows that there's a need of appropriate measurement scheduling in order to utilize the resources properly. This brings us to our research questions. We have one main research question: what design considerations are necessary for a low cost internet measurement system for under resourced networks? We will be exploring the scheduling aspect of measurement platforms in order to answer this research question. And we will also be studying the trend in performance of scheduling strategies when measurement specifications like number of nodes and number of jobs change. In terms of related work, several algorithms have been proposed. One of them is the round robin algorithm. In round robin algorithm, an order of the jobs is specified, which could be the first come first serve order. Along with this, a conflict relationship is decided on the basis of resource utilization. We construct a Gantt chart on the basis of round robin order as well as the conflict relationship with number of processes on the y-axis and time slots on the x-axis. Similar to the round robin algorithm, an earliest deadline first algorithm has also been proposed. In this algorithm, the jobs are sorted in the order of their deadlines, and the scheduling happens in a similar way. The third and most important algorithm for our study is called descending order of subvertices degree, or DOSD. This algorithm involves the construction of a subgraph uh, which in which the number of nodes are the same as the number of execution time units. A complete graph of complete graph is constructed and then is colored in such a way that the adjacent nodes occupy a different color. The the Gantt chart is constructed in such a way that same color corresponds to the same time slot in the generated schedule. An ascending order variant of this algorithm will also be considered for implementation and evaluation in our study. That algorithm is known as ascending order of subversus degree, or AOST. So we use these four algorithms to build a monitoring solution for Ineti Community Network located in Ocean View, Cape Town. We have experimenters, which could be researchers or network managers. They specify the parameters of a measurement job on the user interface, and then the measurements are sent to a server. The server is centralized for our implementation. It is configured with the scheduling algorithm discussed previously, and there's a job queue which dispatches the jobs to the Android phones in the network. The collected measurement results are stored in user measurements and metadata database. We have five types of measurements supported in our platform, which are ping, DNS lookups, trace routes, HTTP downloads, and TCP speed tests. The user database and metadata database are of MongoDB, and measurements database is an InfluxDB database, which is also a time series database. So we perform our evaluation in a lab setup before the actual deployment. In the lab setup, we use four Android phones co-located with the experimenter. The specifications of the measurement server and Android phones is given on the left side. Our experiments involve a choice of topology. The topologies are chosen on the basis of a conflict probability. For example, a conflict probability of zero point 0.4 will indicate that every access point is connected to the other access point with a probability of zero point 0.4. The blue nodes in these diagrams represent the mobile phones, and the red nodes correspond to access points. The access points marked with a star correspond to gateway access points, which means that they are the access points which are directly connected to the internet. So costs are calculated on the basis of the path from a mobile phone to the gateway access point, which is used within the scheduling algorithm to decide which device a job will be scheduled on. We use Alexa Top It global websites as target servers for our measurements. We first calculated the job success rate for performance evaluation, which is defined as number of successful instances per 100 runs of the job. A near 100% success rate for all four algorithms and all topologies was achieved. To investigate the delays caused by scheduling, we calculated the average platform delay, which is the time difference between job dispatch and storage of result. An average waiting time was also calculated, which corresponds to the time that a job spends within the system before dispatch. We found that majority of the platform delay was due to external factors like delay within the phones or the network. To have some idea about the distribution of jobs among the nodes, we calculated the node busy time ratio, which indicates the fraction of time spent by a measurement node in the execution of jobs. As can be seen in the figure on the right, jobs were most evenly distributed in the case of AOST algorithm. So to conclude, AOST algorithm performs well with the partial virtualization of the network topology. We modeled the network graph as an adjacency list for our experiments, but better virtualization can be achieved if the community network if the community network is modeled as a software-defined network. Later on, a support for on-demand measurements will also be added, and integration with existing Ineti services like chat or multimedia streaming will be tested. The testbed on the right is the deployment testbed of our system, and these are the references that I've used in my slides. And lastly, I would like to thank the University of Cape Town, the Department of Computer Science, my research group Net4D, the Telecom Center of Excellence, and the team behind NEP for bringing these ideas to reality. Thank you so much. This is the end of my presentation.